had this amazing moment at HP in the face of COVID. There was this hostile takeover by Xerox. They were trying to take over the firm. Investors thought it was a good idea. Analysts thought it was a good idea. And then something surprising happened, which is when COVID hit, Xerox's earnings per share, they dropped 69%, and then they stayed there. Whereas HP's, they went through the roof. And it was a result of very small changes, things that investors and analysts hadn't noticed, that increased HP's flexibility when the world changed, increased its resilience and its ability to perform. And it turns out that companies that prioritize resilience over performance, they have dramatically better outcomes over time. In fact, according to a recent transnational cross-sectoral 13-year study by McKinsey, they have about 82% higher economic profits over time. And so what I believe, what I get excited about, is helping companies make better decisions about the future, decisions that help them be successful, disproportionately successful to their peers, no matter what happens next. In Chinese, the word for crisis is wei ji. Wei means danger, ji means opportunity, and crisis is both danger and opportunity. I think the question isn't what happens next. The question is whether you're prepared for anything that could happen next. And there are small things, simple things that you can do in your business, in your community, in your life that will create dramatically better results, independent of the future that you face. We did a $15 million research project to understand the major trends that are going to shape your business, your community, your life over the next decade. You don't need to go at this alone. We can come together and understand what these trends are individually, and then what happens as they come together, as they collide to create your future. As you start to gain an understanding of what happens next, you don't need to accept the future that's given to you. You can architect your own future. That's what's so exciting about understanding these trends, understanding how everything comes together. And at the end of our talk, at the end of our time together, you'll have the skills to look out into tomorrow and to shape it. So I'm in Silicon Valley, the center of artificial intelligence on the planet right now. 3/4 of AI investment are happening right here. And what's exciting to me when you look around the world isn't just the automation and the new things, the magical things that it's doing. It's that when we look at demographics, when we look at our workforce, what we're seeing moving out into 2030, especially in Europe, China, much of Southeast Asia, the United States, is that populations are aging, populations are decreasing. And that means that we're going to have to automate tasks that we used to assign to people. So what excites me about AI is that it's going to shift the entire economics of the world, as we're able to automate those things that we used to not want to do. And it's going to happen quickly. It's not going to be a 10-year process. Over the next 5 years, we're going to see massive shifts in our economies, massive shifts in our businesses, massive shifts in our communities. And if you aren't ready for it, if you aren't preparing to take advantage of it, then the future's going to happen to you. You aren't going to create it. And this is the opportunity today. The people who get ahead, who take the time to become aware of the bigger picture, they're going to create their own future. They're going to create all of our futures. Will that be you? It can be. So all companies are excited about artificial intelligence right now. All people seem to be excited. I can't stop having this conversation. But foundationally, it's about this idea that we're going to become more efficient, by which I mean that we might have to lose some jobs. I think this misunderstands the nature of artificial intelligence profoundly. There are three things we need to be looking at. We need to be looking at tasks, the things we do over the course of the day, how those bundle into processes and jobs that we do in our businesses, and how the people who do those jobs create resilience when edge cases occur, when the tasks break down, when the processes break down. And so when we talk about the future of automation, we need to talk about not just how are we going to drive efficiency in our organizations, how are we going to cut headcount. What we really need to be talking about is how are we going to automate tasks because of workforce shortages moving forward? And how are we going to use these new technologies to dramatically increase our resilience as a species? Because if we do those things, we can all be dramatically more efficient and we can live in a much, much better world. We talk about the future, the range of things that could be. We talk about the skills that you need to take advantage of it. But most of all, and most importantly, we talk about how to create a culture of what I call strategic luck, one where the future doesn't happen to you by accident, but one where it rolls itself out to your advantage. If you do small, simple things in your business, in your life, in your community, you can have dramatically better results, far more consistently, and best of all, with dramatically less effort. If you'd like to have more strategic luck in your life, I'd love to meet you.